Villages like Hyannis and Osterville on Massachusetts' Cape Cod are home to beaches, mansions, and memorials to American heroes. It's a good life, but some residents say this idyllic atmosphere is under siege. If Boston-based company Cape Wind gets its way, Nantucket Sound will host the country's first offshore wind farm, putting turbines in the distant view of some of the wealthiest homeowners in America.
Yeah, of course it's going to bother some people. I mean, it's a nice view to look out there. It's a nice sky.
We kind of do have like a snooty community around here, and they don't want to ruin the way, what they see when they look out, in their backyards of their beach houses. They live at 2 months out of the year.
Well, I can understand that. I can understand people who've lived on Cape Cod and had homes right on the water, and it's a shock to your system if you've known the Cape your entire lives, and you've got people that are in their 80s and 90s, and you've got young people, middle-aged, that have grown up here and love it. And it's a beautiful spot, one of the most beautiful spots in the world. And money can't overwhelm beauty.
Money has been a central issue in the nearly 8-year-old battle over Cape Wind. The project hit a major milestone this year when it passed the government's environmental review, and it has the support of Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. Opponents like the Hyannis-based Alliance to Protect Nantucket Sound claim that the project's escalating startup costs will lead to huge electric bills for Cape residents. Supporters of the project question the millions of dollars their opponents have spent to quash the wind farm.
I feel strongly that the opposition group has absolutely nothing other than wanting to kill this project. So the $20 million that the opposition has spent has not been spent on informing and educating and understanding some data, some baseline data that we didn't know about Nantucket Sound or wind or other kinds of things. That money's been spent in Washington, D.C. paying lobbyists, paying attorneys to take those suits and try to delay this to death. And I don't think it's added much value to really the public discourse here.
Alliance CEO Glenn Wadley says he has commissioned nearly 40 experts to prepare a set of reports that dwarf the government's environmental impact statement. He argues that Cape Wind's problems are about much more than the obstructed view. Along with high startup costs, he says Cape Wind will endanger birds and whales, disrupt commercial fishing, present a public safety hazard, and disrupt ancient tribal burial grounds.
A lot of times they've tried to paint us as just being anti-renewable. That's not true. We're fine with all these other solutions. We've been focused on the Cape Wind one, saying that we're in opposition to that, but there are a lot of other good solutions out there, and it just doesn't make sense in our setting right now from an economic standpoint. And if you look at the Europeans, they subsidize these wind farms much more than we do. And even the Europeans are starting to realize that that's pretty expensive. So they're looking at new technology to go deeper, get out farther where the winds are better, and they actually can see some cost reduction because of new technology. So this is not really a good spot for a wind farm.
Back in Boston at Cape Wind, Communications Director Mark Rogers says alternatives like deep water turbines are a nice idea someday in the future.
Cape Wind is about using ready-to-go technology that has been demonstrated and successfully used elsewhere in commercial applications. It's ready to go. We expect to be permitted by the end of this year. We'll be able to place purchase orders for existing wind turbines that have worked well elsewhere and bring them offshore Cape Cod. I think the future prospects of deeper water, even floating wind turbines, is exciting. I think in terms of when it will be available for commercial application, I think is still 10 or more years away, and I don't think the planet has that much time to wait.
Well, I think Massachusetts Cape Codders tend to be very provincial. That change is hard. People don't like to change. It's been like that for millions of years, and they don't want to change, and I understand that, but I think we need to look at alternatives.